What a group we have. You're live.
Hey guys, welcome to another Monday Night Live of Dirt Track Untold. We have Lance and Art with me tonight. We can talk a little bit about their affiliation to the Adirondack Auto 35 team and all of the different things that they do for me and the whole team and what we've been working on lately. And I don't know, what do you guys want to start with you, Art? How did you get involved with our race team? Like, where did it start?
Totally get involved. I've been following you and your dad for years, or actually for your dad first, then you. And Mandee put up a video one time and she was out there pumping the jack away and you jumped out of the car to change the tire. And I think I shot you a text saying, I'm at the races quite often if you ever need some help. That's how it started off. And then I just started hanging around in the pits and getting in your way. And after that, I just started helping out.
Yeah, I think you were concerned that Mandee was doing too much work on, like, she wasn't heavy enough to pump the jack.
No, I didn't mean it in that way. It's just that you need an extra hand that one night.
So yeah, I was glad you reached out. And at first I had no idea who you were, what was going on. But then once I got to know you, I was really glad that you're with us and not somebody else, because we do
We like
a
you.
whole hell of a lot for our team. So
Cool.
it means a lot. Lance, how about you?
Pretty much the same way as Art. I watch Mike race. I like his driving style. He doesn't run over people. So that's a huge plus for me. And I did the same thing. I got a hold of him, met him at Port Royal last year, and started out, last year in Port Royal, and started helping him a year ago in December.
I'm here, guys. Hi.
Oh, there she is.
This is the third year because I think it was New Egypt when I first really, I think, came aboard. I guess might have been the word.
Yeah, because you were kind of like, you were traveling with us then.
Yeah, just
on the road.
shadowing you.
I thought it was I complained about no warm water in the toter. Wasn't that like the first?
That must be what attracted you to me. When I fixed the hot water.
That really was.
That
I'm
was
sorry if you were there before that, Art.
that was
but
a Bridgeport, but yeah, I was there just doing nothing, and then you came out complaining that I'm tired of taking these cold showers. And I said, "Geez, what's going on?" You told me, and I was able to fix that.
What's funny
heat
to
in the
me is
toter.
that something wrong with the toter, or like a household thing, is so simple for Art to fix. He has like so much knowledge of that, and that is no trouble doing that. Meanwhile, I'm very focused on the race cars, and that stuff is like, I don't even have time to look it up or think about it, and it's such a help to be able to repair some of those things and not, I don't know, just, it's kind of out of my realm.
Things you shouldn't have to worry about and concentrate on the racing side of it.
That'd be nice.
And make the go fast.
Yeah.
So we got some people in the chat now.
Okay.
Everyone's saying hi.
Yep.
Now, where are you both? I don't think you said where are you both like from originally.
Go ahead, Art.
Actually, Liverpool area, Liverpool, New York, and I moved over into Mattydale, which is north of Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
About 3.5 to 4 hours away from the race shop here, so don't get up here as often as I'd like to. So
We're pretty far up here.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm from Brunswick, New York. I don't say Troy. I'm Brunswick. Little difference. People that know that. And I'm a couple hours away from the shop.
So what's it like working with Mike? Not Speedy, but with Mike.
Sometimes it's like working in the mirror.
In the mirror?
Yeah, he and I, our mindsets are. It's like we're the same. Yeah, like if he's got his mind on something, his mind's on. Don't bug me with something else.
Yeah.
I think we share a few things in common as far as that goes. So when he's got his mind, he's concentrating on something. I know when not to bother him.
I go bother Art, no problem. He usually doesn't answer. He's so focused on what he's doing that I'll just go, Art. And then finally you get an answer because he's so into
There's
it.
possibility maybe I didn't hear you too.
Yeah.
What about you, Lance?
Absolutely. I think Mike and I hit it off very well. We're both got the same personality, pretty well laid back. Not too much bothers us. I think as a team, we're all the same pretty much. We're all pretty laid back guys. Some of us communicate better than others. We're working on that a little bit.
Everyone point their fingers
Yeah,
over there.
We talking about
That's
racing or
definitely not my
relationships?
strong suit. Communication.
Yeah.
I communicate with my actions. But I'm still waiting for Lance to hit his boiling point. Because I know I have one. Like I'm very calm, laid back, and easygoing until I reach that, point where I can't take it anymore. And I have yet to see Lance get upset about anything.
Pretty much. I got a long fuse, but when I
Can't say that about me.
Nope. Uncle Art. Nope.
I've seen Art's-
Art was just back there yelling obscenities about the pit cart today, I think.
That's what you were working on.
You know, like I said, I'll put my mind to just about anything I can and then stay with it until I get it fixed in most cases. But if I'm working and I injure myself, oh man, that's when I really lose it. Piece of junk.
Well, I think it was something about being some Chinese made pit cart.
We don't know who we have for fans, so we have to be careful.
Yeah,
I feel
but
like it's pretty mixed. That cart's like a bunch of different parts to it.
Well, they keep changing the name because they're ashamed of it.
So then, speaking of, want to tell what you guys have been working on. So what are you doing with the big cart?
Okay, so this week, or I've been up here a couple of weeks now, going on 3 weeks or whatever.
It's not-
Helping out with the various different race cars because he's got more than most people have. Got quite a few toys. So trying to help Mike get done what we can on the race cars, what he needs to get done and what he delegates for me. But he had a couple chores on the pit cart that he wanted to do some modifications. First, I had to fix the suspension because that was all messed up. So got that all squared away, so it'll be track worthy, I guess, or pit worthy.
Yep.
And
it was sagging so bad that the tires were touching the frame because the shocks were pushing through the control arms, and Art fixed all that.
yep,
Didn't
so
the
got,
top of the box tip over? Didn't the toolbox tip over?
well, see,
It was about to.
There I am.
The whole thing tipped over.
It slid on the jack stands and it got a little crooked, but kind of like Mike going on the track. The left front was off the ground.
Yeah, it had a lot of wedge in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that, and Mike came up with some ideas, or I don't know if we shared them all, or even yourself to organize. But one of your videos gave me an idea.
I did.
Yeah.
Really?
You guys what was it, Wall Stadium?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Jimmy Blewett had boards with left front crash parts, left rear, right front, right rear. So if you were in an impact and the crew saw you, like, oh, you got hit in the left rear, all the parts to repair that corner of the car were on one board. So Art made this deal, and you can explain it.
Well, no, I stole the idea, what Mike said that they saw with the boards, and Mike had to, figure out what we're going to put on there. So he gave me an idea of what he was looking for and size wise. Well, we happen to have an area inside the pit cart, and I just put a couple tracks in there and some peg boards, and we got it so we can zip tie the parts to it and slide the board out, take what we need, slide it back in, and it's going to work out good. Hope we don't need to use it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was just a small project there and getting that going.
Lance, so tell them about a couple things you've been doing here.
I've been doing a lot of things. I'm big on organization and staying clean. So we actually went through the shop, started in one corner of the shop. If you ever been up here, you know how big the shop is. We just started in one corner, went all the way through, clean. We can actually walk through here now in the wintertime. Before we couldn't. I got the trailer all straightened out, ready to go for Florida. And the last week or so, I've been painting a lot of things. I don't even know how many cans of paint we've used, but I think all of our cars.
Let's put it this way, if it doesn't move, he painted it.
Yep.
I think we've probably been through an 18 rack.
At least,
It's a lot of 6-packs.
at least.
So if you feel like donating some black paint.
Yep. We'll take it.
It's gotta be flat.
Flat
Flat,
black,
flat.
yeah, flat
Well,
black.
there's different parts,
Wow.
the chassis is flat black, and then the panels are gloss black, and
Mhm.
then the bumpers are white. So, we've been using up a lot of paint, and Lance has this place really well organized, as well as the trailer, as well as the tools, and just, you know, making it so it's like we can function every day, because we make a complete mess when we come in here. The days we get a lot done, it's just stuff's thrown everywhere. There's grindings, filings, and you know, grease and oil everywhere, and there's just a lot to clean up and keep to where the next day you can get that much done again, or if you have the energy. But I definitely appreciate that, because it's again, we have all these cars and stuff in here in the winter that isn't here in the summer. You know, usually you got a couple cars in a trailer, and you got the trailers outside. There's a lot more room in here in the summertime, so it's hard to make room to work in the wintertime.
People are happy to see Sir Lancelot and Uncle Artie. They're gonna be on party.
Hey, speaking of that, if there's anybody available for this weekend, Uncle Art needs a babysitter.
Oh no.
Friday night and Saturday night.
I'm in work mode. I'm in work mode.
Are you saying
I don't party till Mike gets up there and
Okay.
makes us all happy.
Yeah, Artie's known as the party because
He is the
when we
party.
win, he knows how to celebrate.
Still gotta, what is that? You're down a beer?
Oh, shotgun?
Yeah, I still gotta learn that.
Yeah, we got all summer. We have all summer for that.
Hopefully, we have plenty of chances.
So Richard asked how close you guys are to being ready for Florida.
Was this Richard Lurkey's? Because I think he knows that we have quite a bit left. I don't know. You guys explain a little bit about
Well, the plan
the
changed.
difference in the planning today compared to what we thought over the weekend.
Well, we got 3 or 4 cars we got rear ends on, knowing we were gonna take one of them. And then we dropped a motor in another one, not knowing which, if that one's staying or not. And then now we're gonna be putting another motor in, so things are moving around. I mean,
Yeah, so the engine situation has kind of put us in limbo, because the you know, you're not always using the engine you prefer. Right now we have what we have. A lot of our engines are out for rebuilds, and our small block we're just hoping that it might get back in time. And so we've put a different engine in the car and plumbed it all up and have it about ready to fire. And we're like, pretty soon we're just going to be pulling this thing back out to put the other one in. But
we'll be ready.
at the same time, we could run that one if we have to, if it doesn't come. So then today with the big block, the car we thought we were taking is getting pretty close to ready. And then one of our other engines sounds like it might be done later this week. So then we're jumped on another car trying to get that ready so that we could put that engine in later this week and possibly take that car, because that engine has a little bit more horsepower than the one in the other car for Volusia. Volusia's kind of a motor track. You don't want to take your slick track motor there.
Guess what? Art said he's gonna bring his bathing suit for us.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope it's warm. That'd be
You missed
nice.
that?
A lot of times we go to Florida and it's not that warm.
I said we're gonna be at the beach. We go swimming, practice shotgun and a beer.
So
While they watch the race car, don't we have to have something to do?
Right.
to explain a little more about our schedule, so Mandee and I get married in a week and a half, basically.
Yeah. No pressure.
That's coming up quick, and afterwards we're going on our honeymoon. And while we're on vacation there, Lance and Art are going to be driving the truck and trailer down to Florida, and we're going to meet them there and go to Alltech and go racing. Now there's a
Go
few
swimming.
days in between
Oh, we are. Don't you worry.
that I hope they get there early and they have time to relax and enjoy the sun a little bit. Hopefully it's sunny, because they've been working their butts off, and we're ready to be very competitive down in Florida. And I really appreciate everything they've been doing, because it's just every day it's been kind of grueling. I mean, I don't think it's grueling for Lance. He just loves this stuff.
Yep.
He
I
just
want to
wants
race
to-
8 days a week.
More power to you.
I don't seem to be able to fill his plate.
Hey, if we get it all done here, less we have to do at the track.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which certainly there's plenty to do there. So
Someone wants to know where Big Poppy is.
Big Poppy's plowing snow right now. Yeah, he had plans to come to the shop tonight, but we got about 10 inches of snow last night and then another 6 to 8 inches today, I believe. So it's been just nonstop. A really thick snow too. It's Charlie Huttig's birthday today. So we want to wish him a happy birthday. And he has a new snowmobile this year and he's been just dying to ride it. And he got it out today and there's plenty of snow.
Happy birthday, Charlie.
Yep, happy birthday.
Imagine trying to get the truck trailer out of this.
Don't. I dreamt.
We're not
I
gonna be
already
here
dreamt.
for
I already
it,
dreamt
so-
about that. I really did.
I can't
did.
imagine.
Don't call us.
No, call.
Okay, don't call me. Call him.
Don't say that. Everybody's always afraid to call me when you have trouble. And then
Oh, yeah.
I usually have some sort of,
We couldn't.
I can usually help a little bit. Just yesterday, I think Hart goes, "Where's the breaker box?" And I'm like, "Over there." And he goes and starts filling the breakers or whatever. About a half an hour later.
No, I told you there's no power on the west wall.
I wasn't listening
were in
again.
your
I was
mode.
in my zone. So
Yeah.
then half an hour later, I'm like, "What you working on?" "Oh, we got no power over here." "Oh, well, the
GFI.
GFI stripped over there." So it's hidden behind a bunch
You'd
of
think it would be
panels
in the
and stuff.
bathroom, but
Yeah.
oh well.
So, but yeah, the communication I'm not very good at. So I
just
really
have to
appreciate
read
when
you.
everybody asks me questions because I never know. Otherwise, I just don't know. So
Yeah, that toter, that got stuck on dry grass in
Yeah.
Oswego. I can't imagine.
God.
oh yeah, it doesn't take much to get stuck with that. Only 2-wheel drive in the back, and sometimes we can lock the diff up and help get a little more traction. But last year we got new tires, that helped a lot. Damn it, it was a lot worse before. But
Yeah, put some money into that and getting that squared away.
let's see. Mike Goodwin says it's down to 31 degrees in Jacksonville, Florida tonight.
Awesome.
How cold?
31.
Hey, get that squared away before we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got that here. I think it was 31
Thirty
today.
here today.
Do we have them?
I don't know what he said.
Do we have them here?
Yeah, we have one of those salamanders. So, let's see. Larry says, "Do the new Mcnell chassis have any changes? Or are they the same as last year?" So, a couple things I noticed is a little tougher right front nose brace. There's a slug that slides in the front clip and kind of supports the nose piece a little bit because that's a corner that always kind of gets bent. And then there's a brace that goes from the left rear short rod bracket to the panhard bracket to keep the panhard bracket from wearing out the welds on the frame, because as that takes a lot of force, it just wiggles back and forth, and then you end up with some cracks, possibly if you're on rough tracks or you got a lot of horsepower, a lot of bite. So we got one of those. We'll possibly, try that and see if
Is
it.
that the same one that cracked at, you hit the wall down there at Lebanon?
Yes, yeah. So we had the upper panhard mount crack at Lebanon Valley here, and it ended up catching the brake line, and we lost brakes, and
Yep.
so also switched that brake line to a different fitting. That particular car had a 45 or 90 on it, and now it's got a straight.
When it broke, I don't think it would have made any difference, but possibly. But
Yeah. I don't know. Have you guys noticed any other differences? Our car that we ordered was the same as all our other ones because we just want them to be, try to get them all the same. But
yeah, that's one thing Mike's trying to do is get everything uniform, right down to parts and fits, and so we're not running around trying to adapt everything.
yeah, for example, today we were making up some spare radius rods. Well, actually, putting new radius rods on the car and then taking the ones off the car and putting them in the pick cart. So they're all set to length, so that makes it easy when you go grab it and write the number of the chassis on it, and it fits right in. So goes hand in hand with what Art made in the pick cart, and it's really handy if something bad happens, because usually it's a scramble to try to find something you're in a rush, and it's hard to concentrate and stay cool. And
Yeah.
let's see. Steve Ingram asked if you guys will do the show when Mandee and I are on the honeymoon.
I don't even know that we would know how.
I think we're actually.
I don't know,
We had to have
traveling.
her set up the computer today so we could do this.
I know Lance has a fan club out there, but I don't know about myself. In any event, I don't know if we'd be able to figure
We'll
it
try.
out.
We'll try to do it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we'll try to do it. Why not? If Mandy gives us the stuff, we'll try to do it. Sure.
Here's a question. What do you think of Oswego, and how do you feel about going back there again? What do you guys think?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah. I'm from Syracuse. Do I need to say more?
Okay.
I really feel bad about them tearing that track down. The fairgrounds.
Yeah, I think
It's-
there's a lot of
I've
people that
never-
feel the same.
Never been excited about Oswego, just for that reason. It's just a grudge. My dad used to race the fairgrounds.
Mhm.
Just one of those things. I've gone because you raced there, but other than that, if you weren't racing, I wouldn't go. So, sorry, folks.
Yeah. The trouble with that is that it's the person that tore the fairgrounds down doesn't care whether we go to Oswego or not.
Oh, yeah.
Because it stinks, because I think that's a common thing is to kind of feel a grudge and not go, and then it's only really hurting the Super Dirt Week that group really more than the people that tore the fairgrounds.
I mean, when it was at the fairgrounds, I realized people were there to party too and so on, but to me, it's just up in Oswego. They're only going there for the party. Doesn't seem like they care about the racing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. They labeled it racing's biggest party.
yep.
I think.
It used to be at Syracuse. It was.
What else we got for questions here? Richard Wood asks if the generator is working now.
At the moment.
Are you jinxing me? Yeah, because it's inside, Richard. It's one of those things. I think it's a female brand because it's very temperamental. It needs a lot of attention. We've tried to order a new one, and they are so bad. Every time you turn around, the newest one we got was what, 42 weeks, Mike? Turnaround?
Yeah.
And then they won't even guarantee that. And it's kind of, you're going to put money out for something, but I realize we're going to have to move forward eventually. So we're looking for some other options, but currently running. We got the Band-Aid on this week. If it fails again, I think I know what I got to do next time, but it's just one race at a time.
What do you guys
And we
think?
do have the backup generator too, the smaller one.
Yeah, which helps. You can do some small
Got that
stuff.
wired
It'll
so we
usually trip if you try to run the tire machine.
But I've got
and
it
the
all
lights.
wired so we can
Um,
get through it.
What do you guys think of what the parents are doing to the toter?
That's amazing. It's amazing what they're doing. Well, you already told them in one of the videos that the fifth wheel hitch had a big crack in it.
Yep.
So they've got that all squared away. And while they were in there, they thought they'd do some cosmetic work, and they're totally rebuilding the whole back half of it and making it roadworthy. They put a new exhaust on, so I don't have to smell those diesel fumes on the inside.
Nope, I was there today and they're finishing up the diamond plate on the back.
Looks
So
really- Are they?
looks
hopefully in
nice.
a couple
Yeah.
of days, it should be done.
It's gonna look great. Set all your trophies on there.
Yep. The diamond plate going on the back is 1/4 inch thick instead of 1/8 inch, so it's
Mhm.
going to be much stronger. They've completely rebuilt all the bracing underneath that, so it was definitely necessary. We didn't realize it until we got it all tore apart.
Mhm.
But
Well, the way it was put together too, though, it was kind of like most of your motor homes anyhow. They cheap old plywood, they cover it up, and as soon as it gets rotted, it just rots underneath, and you really don't know it until you have a problem. And a lot of moisture got in there, got into a lot of the supports and whatnot. So
yeah, it's amazing that they use wood for a lot of the
underneath it's all
just
hidden.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's not something that's going to last
They're
when
doing
we're
they're doing a
hauling through
great
snow
job.
to get to Florida.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see, so So Bob Davidson says, from Lance's cleaning up, you spend less time looking for it, more time completing the projects.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Well, he's always been strong on your tire inventory, and so, I mean, that's,
That's another thing you got. He's got a whole list of every wheel offset and every tire and compound size, all that stuff, all listed out. And then all of our tires for Florida are already mounted and pretty close to ready. Other than I told him not to grind them yet because I
Mike
could
wants
just
them
have to do it
fresh.
again.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the
That's
fresh
right,
grind.
fresh rubber.
So, yeah, really impressive because I don't think I've ever had tires ready that far in advance.
Yeah, very, very organized with the tires. I am.
Yeah.
Oh, we only got a couple.
I mean, they all look big, black, and round to me. I don't.
Hey, we're at least under 200.
We're under 200. Start with.
You didn't like when we got over 200.
No, I think we're at 220 last year.
But now it's so hard to get tires that it's just becoming a horde.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
No, the other racers out there are doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think so. Steve asked, how's Jim doing and will he be in Florida? He's recovering, and from what I've talked to him, he seems to be doing more and getting out in the shop a little bit, and I'm definitely impressed with how much he's recovered. And
He'll be there at least. He'll be there, whether he's going to be
Yes.
helping out. That's
yeah,
up to him, but
I know he'll be there.
Yeah.
Not much would make him miss that. So. Larry said, Mike, I heard Fonda and Utica Rome are putting new lighting around the track. Did you hear anything about it?
Utica Rome, I heard.
Yeah, I heard Utica Rome, which is awesome. I mean, I've seen it's. I can't imagine how bright it's going to be because it was already not that bad. Utica was pretty good
That's one of the better ones.
the way it was, and there's tracks that you can't see that really need lighting,
Fonda can use it.
and it's going to be spectacular now. I would think with the new. I assume it's LED.
Yeah, they had pictures of it on the other day. Brett had pictures on. It looks great.
Which hopefully, saves them on their electric bill a little bit too.
Oh, our pit passes will be cheaper then. Nah.
See. William asks, Mike, after warm-ups and heat races, do you know what adjustments you want, or do you talk it out with a crew? It depends on the particular thing. I think when it comes to like shocks and springs, I pretty much just do it and typically say, hey, take the right rear off because I'm going to be changing it, or get ready to do it if I get this ready in time. But when it comes to like gear changes, Lance usually handles that, and repairs, usually Art handles that. Like something's damaged, he comes in and just figures out a way to repair it quickly, and it kind of works well. The three of us. That's funny because I think a few people have asked, like, is it just the three of you going to Florida? and really, we went to Louisiana. It was the three of us and Mandee,
yep.
and then Anthony joined in at the end, and we did fine. I mean,
Well, because most of the stuff's prepared ahead of time.
Right, and it's tough when something goes wrong, but I think you guys have done a hell of a job.
Yeah, we had to switch out a rear end, but
yep,
and we had some help from your friends in Louisiana.
Again was relatively easy because we got the easy CT1, so you just slide it up in and bolt the tubes on, and that wasn't too bad. But let's see. Ralph says, y'all have already said back. Are you doing the Cajun swing again? I think we are, probably.
More than likely.
It's a definite.
I mean, if you leave it up to Mike.
If we leave it up to
No,
Lance,
if you leave it to Lance.
if you leave it to Lance, we're not missing any race.
We need a track that runs Sunday nights. Right?
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. Utica needs to go back to Sunday.
Yeah, that would
nights.
be
That'd be
great.
great.
That would be awesome.
Let's see. Wayne Toby asked if Billy Pauch is running Florida. I know Billy Jr. is. He's going to Alltech. I
I haven't heard anything about Senior.
I haven't heard if Senior's going.
He's starting to slow him down.
Yeah, he's focusing
Starting to
on
enjoy life itself.
focusing
the
on
grandchildren.
Bridgeport and
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. Mike T asks, how about moving Super Dirt Week to different tracks every year? What do you think about that? Like when they did Oktoberfest, we went to 5 different tracks.
That was
one
nice,
week.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was neat.
I prefer that.
That would be nice. I think I'd rather enjoy it that way. I would.
Mhm.
And then that way it shares the wealth to different townships too.
Jeffrey Pilgrim said he preferred Oktoberfest format versus Oswego.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've liked both. I feel like I haven't had a real good shake at Oswego yet, and I want to conquer it, I guess. So I
Mhm.
definitely don't want to like stop going now. I never got to go to the fairgrounds and race, so for me, I went to Oswego year 1, and I've been there every year, and I really haven't had a good. I don't know. Nothing. None of them have been great finishes. So last year was we were just great that we finished.
Yeah.
So we'll go back and try again. Aaron asks, where does Lance prefer for Friday and Saturday nights? So what are your favorite Friday and Saturday night tracks?
If I had a choice, I'd go to Utica and Orange County, to be honest with you. Especially after the surface that we had for Eastern States weekend last year. If they can do that, just because the amount of money they're paying good money at both tracks weekly. So that's what I would do, run for the money.
Yep. What do you think, Art?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep. Although we know we can't change Fridays, but
yeah. Let's see. Eric Williams asked, are you guys planning on staying in Florida the whole month of February so you can race Cherokee 2 on the way back, or make the long trip home before that race? Which one of you guys would like to explain that?
Go ahead, Art.
no, we're definitely staying in down south there in Florida. It's going to be 2 solid weeks in Florida, and then was it 4 days up in
Yeah. We'll have a few off days in between.
South Carolina. So we may have a few days in between to relax, but it'd be foolish to come all the way back.
Yeah, so I would love to have a little shop time in between, but it's too much road time to make any sense, right?
Yep.
Well, we're really taking enough parts along with us, so if we have to do any changes or whatnot, we'll be all set anyway.
All right, here's a good question for each of you. What was your favorite win last year? This is from Steve Ingram. He said he liked the battle with Stewie for the win and the Port Royal win.
The one with Stewie was the greatest. That was amazing. I just amazing, And then when you won the championship for the short track super series, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. I mean, we knew where he had to finish, and he was down and up and down. I said, "Oh, come on, Mike, what are you doing to me?" But that was a great thrill too, to bring that one home. But the best one was at Malta when you head to head with Stewie there. That was giving it right back to him.
That was a good race.
Right?
What did you think, Lance?
Port Royal, probably just because nostalgia. Port Royal's the best facility that we race at, hands down, by far. Malta was great, absolutely great. I love every win
Yeah,
Every win's great.
It's hard not to like that.
Yep, every win's great, but Port Royal, a little bit higher than Malta for me.
Port Royals.
Yep. I didn't mean to leave that one out because it was a great one too.
It's hard to choose. It's definitely my least favorite question is what is your favorite anything?
Mhm.
It's such a hard thing to answer for me.
Well, you used to, when people ask about tracks, you used to say Fulton.
Yeah,
But now that you've run so many tracks since then, different tracks, different states and so on, that might have changed by now.
yeah, I mean, I
I know why you
and
went
if you're
too.
literally just talking about the dirt,
Mhm.
I still love Fulton.
Okay.
But there's a whole lot of other circumstances that change it because I mean, how do you not love Port Royal when they have the whole rest of it, the facility,
Oh, yeah.
the lights, the stands, the pits,
You got three
the
different
whole
groups and-
operation
Yep.
that draws your attention. And whereas when I go to Fulton, I just go there for the dirt, and you usually get a good show there as well. But
How about the best party track? It has to be Georgetown. That's really behind the scenes.
Way behind the scenes.
That's like Vegas.
Yeah, there you go.
It stays there.
Yeah.
What happens in Georgetown stays in Georgetown.
Might get doused with some beer and some champagne.
Yeah, that was great.
We'll leave it at that.
You always start it. You got them at Malta.
Yep. Got it.
Let's see.
That's the fun of it.
Mhm.
Any plans on visiting Grandview? Is that on our schedule?
There are certain dates that we are available to go. Probably just depends on where we're at, our maintenance program and stuff. There's some Tuesday night shows, higher paying shows
Mhm.
that maybe we can make a venture. We're actually running on my birthday down there. It'd be a nice birthday present for him if we go to Grandview on that Tuesday
Yeah,
night.
we could probably make that happen.
I know you like.
It's easy to make birthday presents for Lance. You just gotta go racing.
Right. Absolutely.
Let's see. Do you see the mods heading more and more towards late model suspension wise?
Good question.
A little bit, yes. But also the rules kind of keep us from getting all the way there with a straight axle front end, and we're never going to get to independent
Mhm.
suspension or anything like that. But certainly going that way and trying to get traction in the back of the car, I think. But we're also kind of limited by our 20-inch drive shaft versus a late models, I think, is 3 times that
Yeah.
long.
Yep.
So there's definitely limitations. Hollywood Hill asked, how different are yours and Billy Jr.'s setups? Are you close or way different? Could you drive his setup and vice versa? I would say not close at all. And then can I drive it? Yeah, but can I run as well as he does with his? No. And can he run in mine? Probably not. I don't think that we have the same driving style at all.
Mhm.
And just preference in the race car, it's huge differences. Like, I mean, we park next to each other and it's like, I don't think either of us pay any attention to what the other one's doing
No.
because our stuff is so different. But it's definitely a cool thing about modified racing is that there is a little bit of ingenuity that we can have such different stuff and both be competitive in different places and things like that. Oh, let's talk about this. Alan asked, do Art and Lance have other jobs or is this their job?
Go ahead, Art.
Start with you, Art.
No, I'm, I guess semi-retired. I do have a small part-time job rebuilding, parts washers. But that's select. So like I said, I've been up here going on three weeks now. So, if it wasn't for the distance, I'd probably be here more often, but so I guess to answer that, I'm basically retired. So helping Mike out's my job.
Tell them about where you're semi-retired from, or
Oh boy, how far back you want me to go? I mean,
Just the latest.
Since I was
guess.
a young kid, automotive all through the years, and then, well, actually the last 25 years, I was a assistant maintenance director for a local nursing home in Syracuse. So that's where I got my hands-on stuff with the
with all the
household
house
stuff
repairs
and,
and stuff,
all that stuff. So got my automotive background, certified mechanic for long years. Preference is General Motors, more so Chevrolet. And, still tinker, helping friends and family out, keeping their cars going.
You definitely fixed a lot of stuff in your life.
Yeah.
Tell
My
them
age, a lot of shit gets broke.
tell them about your background and work.
Yep, so I'm full-time with Mike, here whenever he's here, for the most part. I actually moved up into an apartment up here so I could be closer to the shop, because like I said, it's 2 hours each way, so it's too much to travel every day. So I'm pretty much up here, go home once in a while. And, I've had a lot of jobs in my lifetime. I used to be a school bus driver, still miss it, love the kids. But this is a dream job, so absolutely love doing this.
Nice.
I got to chime in. I saw an question for me.
Oh, great.
No, wait, it's just something. They just want to know if it's an Eldora hat, and which it is.
Easy
That was
question.
an easy question. Came from a J. Nelson.
Oh, Kim Kramer asks, who's your favorite aunt? My Aunt Kim.
Aunt Kim, how's those Cowboys doing?
So, she'll be happy about that. Let's see. Eric Smith asked if we're going to Bristol again. They're not having the race there this year. I think they're going to probably do it every couple of years. But as hard as it was on the race car, I certainly enjoyed going around there wide open in the big block. It was pretty intense.
Yeah,
and just seeing the place. What do you guys think of the facility at at Bristol?
Well, I'd been there when, for my NASCAR event. So the facility itself, I mean, amazing how they put it on, and it's amazing how they switch it over to dirt and so on. Of course, you loved it because you full throttle all the way. It makes it easy to run, huh?
Yeah.
So
don't have to move your feet much.
Yep. Keith wants to know if we're going to be in Florida or if they were.
Who was that, Big Keith?
Yeah, I just lost it.
Mike T wants to know if we'll be a 5 Mile Point at all this year. Any big shows there? I just ask Lance every time because he's already got the whole schedule plotted out and kind of memorized. I have to look at the calendar to be able to know all this. He's got it right in his head.
There is one big race, but I think it's conflicts with one of our other bigger races.
Okay.
So probably not unless they have a midweek sometime.
Let's see. Jake says Keith Battiali in the house. Shout out to Keith. I think he recently purchased a new car, and definitely proud of him. And that was a lot of work to come up.
Oh yeah,
close to here to pick it up, and then he's working on it now, getting ready for race season. And I hope he does well with it. Let's see.
Jake agrees that your STS championship, you had him going too, as far as heart attack up and down.
That was I definitely,
I mean, you knew where you
myself,
had to be.
I was even pretty upset throughout the night because I wasn't having a good qualifying night. Like we usually qualify pretty well, I would say, and didn't make the redraw. I think we were in the consi.
I don't think we talked that night. You were so focused,
Nope.
I didn't.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot I had to say. I think everybody was just hoping that I,
You know what you had to do. We just waiting
yeah.
for your leadership on what you wanted done.
Yeah, so it was a tough night, but when it was all over with, we had the big check, and now we got it hanging on the wall. So that's pretty cool.
Hi, Kathy. Your mom's on.
Hey, Mom. My mom and I still got to pick our wedding song to dance to, so I got to call her later.
Boy.
Figure that out.
You dance?
Well, that's the song we could probably dance to. I don't dance. How many laps, Super Dirty 63, how many laps do you put on a chassis or other components before replacement? We got a mix there. Our chassis seem to just live forever. I think a lot of people do a lap count or a race count, and we've still got chassis from 2014 because we're just trying to keep enough here to be able to go race as much as Lance wants to.
That, you know, the constant maintenance, the improvements, I mean, you know, it's like anything else. Just try to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I think would probably, you know, have a crack in their panhard bar and just probably sell it. And we just seem to, we weld them up and fix them and keep running them. So just differences.
Yeah, it's great to have a, you know, professional welder on hand.
Yeah,
that's probably a lot of people, you know, they don't have that capability and they end up scrapping them.
I think, you know, if you're not that good at welding, it can be a safety issue to be welding on a chassis. So I understand why people don't do their own repairs. But with Rich, I think some of his welds are better than from the factory.
I've seen that. I agree.
A lot of times when he makes repairs to chassis, it's stronger and better than it was beforehand.
Absolutely.
So we're better off just fixing. Robert asks, do you put brake bias gauges in the dash or do you just go by feel with the brake bias? How much do you adjust brake bias during a night between warm-ups, heats, and features? I don't know if you guys notice how much I move it because it's kind of hidden in the cockpit, but Tony Monaco's car is the only car we have that has brake bias gauges in it. And what's neat about that is when we're bleeding brakes, you're able to see that it's building pressure when you push the pedal.
Right.
It's kind of interesting to see that and know that you got all the air out and everything, and then be able to tell the bias between the front and the rear. In our dirt cars, we are almost always running more rear bias than front. It's just about how much more. And usually start with it like full rear when the track's heavy, and then start dialing it forward more and more and more as it gets slicked. A lot of times when the track's heavy, you're not even using brakes. But as the track gets slippery, using just a little bit of brake to keep the car straight going into the corners. And the more front you have, the more it'll go in straight without sliding up. But then if you put too much front in, it locks the front tires up and goes straight up the track and makes it hard to turn. So you kind of have to keep balancing it back out. And a lot of times the two corners of the track require a different brake bias. So maybe I would dial it for one corner and just kind of not use the brakes as much in the other corners kind of thing. So it's a really handy tool, but it can also mess you up just as much. Let's see. Brian Dolby asked Lance, if you roll out a right rear, then flip it, does it roll out the same with 3 pounds more air pressure?
Dolby, you know, I flip every tire. Even the ones that we burn off, it's down the canvas. I flip over and say, hey, we can get at least a heat race out of that.
Sometimes one tire 4 times a night.
Yep.
He rotated the one and it was completely bald and rolls it out and just as a joke. I'm like, Lance, why are you doing all this work?
You can do it. Still got one little edge on it on the outside.
Guy never quits working. He just wants to keep going.
How close is your setup to Shepherd's?
So I wouldn't know. I'd love to know what he's doing.
Well, seeing how he's competitive with him, I'd say pretty close. How's that one? Mike doesn't care what other people are doing. He's got his own ideas and what he does. So.
Let's see. Jay Nilsson asks, is there dirty air in modified racing? I'd say there is. I mean, I definitely see an advantage to being out front and having clean air, wouldn't you guys say?
Especially on the bigger tracks.
Our car's a little different than the others. It seems to collect all the air in the back of the car. So when you lose that, it just seems to make the car free. Where with like sprint cars, you get dirty air and you're tight, can't turn, or else it pulls a wheelie. Where we just seem to get more traction when you got all the clean air on the rear spoiler. So it kind of just gives you the benefit of that. So leading is a good place to be.
Absolutely.
California Dave asked, Lance, did you spend a lot of Saturday nights at the Valley before hooking up with Mike?
Absolutely. Actually, back in the 1980s, my cousin started running modifieds there. And then my dad ran some street stock stuff. So yeah, I was there for a lot of years at the Valley.
Let's see. TM2 asks, how much input does the owner have on your schedule? I would say a lot. I mean, he's definitely one of the more, he works with us.
Mm-hmm.
Not, he doesn't come in and kind of boss us around. He kind of comes in and says, like, what do you guys think about, what do you guys think about going to Malta on Friday nights? I don't think he would oppose going to different places or trying different things, trying different series.
Okay.
He kind of lets us race 90 something times in a year.
Yep.
So he's really pretty
Very
forgiving.
supportive, yeah.
George, Julie, their whole family, they're really great people to work with. So, Patrick asked, do you think cash dashes should be winners of heats only, or do you think take top two in each heat competing? Do you like dashes determining the front row of the field or the redraw? What do you think, Lance?
Should be only the heat race winners for that. And the draw is fine. We like time trialing better usually because we time trial very well. So we prefer the time trial, but the draw, we have no problem. Wherever we start, we always get it locked into the redraw anyway. So Mike does a great job wherever we start. We could start last, he gets in. So I have all the confidence in the world. Wherever we start, doesn't matter. We're going to get in.
What's your opinion, Art? Would you like a cash dash to determine where we start in the feature, or just draw?
Well, actually, except for Bristol, the drawing has not been too good. So if those are my only two choices, let's try that cash.
So based on our draws, you're like, let's just try anything else.
Well, like it is, you go out there and you do so well, you do the good time trial, and then you draw. It's like I said, and everybody feels the same way. It's just a gamble. It's like, why even go out and show you all your cards? Just go out and go around and get in the draw, and that's it. I mean, you know. So, and I think there are drivers out there that do that. They just ride around so they get in the redraw. Yeah, because they're gambling just the same.
Here's a good question, because we did a little bit of both down in Louisiana and in Charlotte last year. So Jason asked, when on the road, do you prefer doing maintenance and cleaning the car at the track, or going to a car wash parking lot and doing it all?
Obviously, if we have a facility to do it in, that's great. When you find a car wash that's large enough so we can, do all we need to do there. It would be great to be able at night and do it. But and then when you had your friends in Carolinas, they opened up their house to you to do that, so that worked out good. But we got into Louisiana, that was a little bit more difficult. Mandee was running around to the alligator pit there and getting water so we could get. I mean, that one track we were at, I don't remember which one it was. There was so much mud. She's bringing all this swamp water up. We had to use something.
Yep.
I definitely think that the trouble with going to the car wash is figuring out how to get the car there and back. I mean, at Volpicelli's, we had the conveniences of using their open trailer to get the car to the car wash, or actually to their house to wash it, and then work on it in the shop, and then bring it back to the track. We were able to leave the trailer at the track. And then down in Louisiana, Keith picked us up one day and took us to the car wash, which was nice. And but then when we're at the track, it's convenient that we don't have to go anywhere, but it seems much harder to get the car clean. Or
don't get it
and then with it not being clean, it's really hard to work on. You can't see what you're doing with it all covered in grease and oil and mud, and I think you miss more if you don't tear it apart.
Sure.
And
Yeah, and you're probably rushing a little bit too, because you're at somebody's facility.
yeah,
And then as far as going to the car wash, like you said, that's probably the disadvantage of having that stacker trailer and trying to get the toter and the trailer in a parking lot somewhere.
not a whole lot of car washes we can get
Yeah.
in and out of
No.
with that.
Get that one heading to Port Royal,
Port
right?
Royal,
And
it's
what,
nice. Mhm.
Sellen's Grove, Sealands Grove,
Yep.
somebody's Grove.
Let's see. Cole asked if we think that we'll see the new paint on iRacing. I hope so. I think we could probably get Ryan Reiser and the guys at Scotty Signs to do that, put it up there. Brian Doby asks, can you run a right front brake shutoff switch? You can run both a switch or a dial. I prefer the dial. That Mcnell sells the cars with a dial on it, and that way if you shut it all the way off and your foot's on the pedal, it won't lock the brake up. It'll still let the fluid return, and it also gives you an in between all the way off and all the way on. So I like that a lot. Jake says he likes the car wash between Selins Grove and Port Royal.
Yep, they helped us out.
Absolutely.
They got us there.
We found a good one down that way. Let's see. David asked if toter is an upstate term for hauler. So I think it's more of a term for the fact that it's a toter home. A lot of people have haulers that are just a semi truck, but ours is one that has a bathroom and a shower and beds and couch and kitchen area with a sink and stove and microwave and all that. So, well, stovetop. not stove oven.
My neighbor always tell him toter, and I kept repeating it over and over, and he got it obviously. So, but I never. So I guess that motor home. So it's a motor home, but it also totes a trailer. So that's where the toter came in. Right?
Yeah, so.
Yep. And no CDL either. That's another thing they can get around that because it's considered a motor home.
Ours is registered as an RV, so it's a motor home, but it's also towing a trailer, which you can, if you have an RV, you can also tow trailers with them.
Yeah. Yep.
Just not as long because RVs seem to be much longer than our toter home. Larry asks, Mike, have you learned from drivers like Stewie and Shepard in the last couple of years? Seems like you are always there with them. I've learned from them pretty much from when I started racing big blocks to now. I've been racing with them the entire time. I think I started in maybe 2008 or so. So that entire era, I've been racing with them, and they've always kind of been the top two guys. And since then, maybe before that, I don't really know because I just got into it then. But from around then to now, they've been the guys that were always seem to be chasing and trying to beat, but also just, I definitely learned like racing with them and stuff. I don't learn much from them setup wise or anything like that, but just racing with them on the track, and
they motivate you.
It's definitely
they motivate
you. They set the bar. Their win counts are so high every season that makes you think that that's possible. Why can't we do that kind of thing? Because if the biggest Northeast winner was only winning 13 races and not, I don't know, what you win this year, 30.
30 something.
So if it was only 13 races, you'd be like, well, if we can win 13, that'd be great. But I think my record is it's somewhere between 15 and 17. I don't remember for sure, but in one season. So I want to do better than that. And last year we had 5, which is great, but at the same time, I think your win count can be determined a lot by where you race. who you're racing against, and everything along with your equipment and everything like that. But I think we're pretty motivated this year to surpass what we did last year, as well as just keep trying to be better. Let's see.
Here's a question for Lance.
Okay.
William Wismer, losing it. For Florida, he wants to know how many tires you're gonna need. How many you're taking.
How many we're taking?
Yeah.
Let's think.
Two different series.
Yeah, we're running 2 different series. So when we go to Alltech and Cherokee, we'll be on American Racers. When we're at Volusia, we'll be on Hoosiers. So we're probably 30 to 40 tires we'll be taking. Because this year for American Racers, down at those 2 races, we only have 1 compound we can run. So that helps big time that we don't have to take 80 tires with us like we did last year to Charlotte, and we went to Louisiana. We had tires, probably had 70 tires we took with us. So this year won't be too awful bad.
Mm-hmm. David asks, have you ever raced any other chassis than Mcnell? I've raced a TO and a Troyer, and also had I think I had the one that was like a TO with a Olsen clip and vice versa. That's some different stuff.
So he doesn't throw anything away.
I still got that car out in the weeds.
Here's one I don't know, Mike. Terry Triton 22. Does your fuel cell have a flapper valve in it? If so, when does it get mandated? Mandated?
That's something that it's just a piece of rubber underneath where the fuel cap goes on. And they started mandating it when, believe it or not, it's once in a while people forget to tighten the fuel cap, and then in 100 lapper with your fuel cell full, it's splashing all over the track and causing accidents because you hit a bunch of fuel spilled on the track. It's slippery. So they put these flapper valves in to not only stop that if your cap fell off for some reason, but also if you tipped over and the cap fell off, I guess it would be there to stop the fuel from rushing out so fast. And it's just a piece of rubber that flops down when you're filling it, and then when you tip over, it flops back up. And they've mandated it for the past handful of years, I think. It started to be a big thing. I remember having fuel cells in the pits that didn't have flapper valves, and trying to make one out of a piece of plastic and then retrofit it in there wasn't easy. It's nice that they just come with them now.
Yep.
I keep getting this question. Ever want to drive the Tobias Slingshot? I started out in Tobias Slingshots. I really enjoyed those cars. They were very affordable, really racy, and great for anyone, like young kids into adults can race them. And they race indoors, outdoors, all over the place. And it's a very economical racing operation that most anyone can get into. Here's a good question. What's one track that you want to win at but have not won at? I'm going to start with Lance.
For our race team, I want to win Middletown for Anthony Monaco.
Yeah, we've been there enough that it's time to win there.
Win there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. John Doe asked, do you think a series or sanctioning body should abandon penalizing drivers that occasionally race with another series or sanctioning body? I think they've kind of worked together a little bit this year, and at least between Short Track Super Series and Super Dirt Car Series, their schedule doesn't conflict this year. Now that now that we're not in the Super Dark Car Series. It's kind of funny. Now that, like, last year we were trying to run both and couldn't. There was no way, because of the conflict in the schedules, there's no way we're going to be able to do all those races. And we tried, but couldn't do it. And now we cannot compete for points in the Super Dirt Car Series. We will, however, go to a lot of those races. But now that we can go to every single one, we have no reason to, because we won't be collecting any points or a points fund without being a platinum driver. So it's a good question, because it's kind of, I bet a lot of people don't know that, because the contracts are only given out to the teams to sign.
Right.
And I don't think it's something that's common knowledge for the fans to know that that's even how it works. However, with the Short Track Super Series, you do not have to sign a contract. You can just go race, and if you collect enough points if you miss a race and you still collect enough points to be the champion by winning all the rest of them or something, you still are the champion and you still get your money. However, the Super Dirt Car Series does not work that way, and just differences of rules and different deals. So, let's see. John Doe asks, do you use a rollover plate in your carburetor? What are the pros versus the cons? I have not tried that. I'm pretty sure Willys came out with a something that goes on the metering block or something, or a different metering block, that when you roll over, the fuel won't spill out the vent, which is a cool safety addition, but we have not got there yet. And the tricky thing with carburetors is, for me, when I find one that I like, I keep it forever. And I got a few that I like right now, and I don't really want to keep trying new ones that don't run that right. Like, don't run right and have a fit.
It's not broke. We're not going to
misfire, and it's like it's such a hassle.
Just keep the fire bottles dated right. Or better yet, we won't flip over.
Right. Okay.
William Wismer said, "Good luck in Florida. Art and Lance, have a safe trip down."
Thank you.
Thanks, William.
Let's see. Patrick asked, do you think Dirt Car and Short Track Super Series will let you run American Racer or Hoosier due to tire shortages for the 22 season? I do not. I think they're going to still continue to mandate their preferred tire. Those series are basically sponsored by their tire company. So due to funding, they have to mandate the tires. Let's see. Super Dirty 63. How much do you have to lighten a block when building a new motor? I'd say for our small blocks, we don't have to lighten them at all. But for our big blocks, because they're so heavy, they end up the dart blocks end up going through a lightening process, get milled down all around to save some weight in the car. Roy asked, do you like the way the newer chassis drive off the right rear? They're a challenge to drive now. They said that they roll over so much. I definitely think that it's a struggle, but at the same time, I think our speed has picked up. We've had better traction with that. Ian asked, how bad did it sting not getting the win at Bristol after having such a great car most of the race? That stung a lot. I think that, all of us had high hopes with our front row draw and, getting out to the lead early, both features, and then I think the first night, tire choice was a big deal, and as we fell off quite a bit at the end. And then the second night, we broke a power steering pump and we were leaking fluid everywhere, and that didn't help things. But I also don't like making excuses for myself, because I mean, I was still able to drive the car without the power steering, but I definitely didn't have the speed we
Right.
had early in the
No.
race.
I mean, luck always plays a factor in it. I mean, you know, we can you look at maybe the power steering, was it a maintenance issue? Okay, possibly. But, you know, and then the night before when the guy got in front of you, trying to get in the pits.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that
That
was,
didn't
you know, it
help
wasn't
either.
a driver issue, it was just
Yeah.
luck, you know, I mean, you got the luck at a great draw and then just good running car and
Mhm.
yeah, I think it hurt all of us.
Yeah.
Because
It's,
we thought of it, you had it for sure.
these guys work so hard that I think they're just as upset when things don't go our way as I am. And we all sulk on the way home, and then we get over it and work on the next one. Jay Nielsen asked, why don't modifieds run fuel injection? Lance, you got an answer for that?
Because nobody is right now. I don't know. No rule, but I'm
Sprint
sure it's
cars do
coming. Yeah, sprint cars.
Sprint
I
cars
would,
do it, yes.
my guess is because Holly sponsors the Super Dirt Car Series, so they probably,
I'm
want
sure.
to keep it carbureted.
Yep.
But I don't know. I enjoy carburetors. I wouldn't have a clue how to work on the fuel injection system. Although I have worked with them a little bit in the sprint cars and the Speedster and stuff like that. I've changed the pills, and they're not too bad. Let's see. What's the toughest track on the body to race? I'm assuming you mean the race car body and not my body. What do you guys think?
This year, Oswego.
Yeah, that one was tough.
That was, oof.
Any track that's rough or has small stones in it seems to do a lot of body damage, or big stones. Really, any stones can do a lot of damage. And then the holes kind of just catch the right side of the body a lot. The left side doesn't take a lot of damage from the track. Just
How about Georgetown? That's last 2 times out, pretty rough track for you.
Yep, it's
Well, 1 and 2 anyway.
yeah, certainly there's certain spots. Although like a little bit of character in a track isn't undoable. It's when there isn't a bottom or a top at all. Like if there's a hole in the middle, you can usually go to the low side or the high side and get around it. But certainly takes a lot to. Sometimes being the first guy to find the way through those, it can win you the race. So some people like those tracks because it turns into how can you drive through this and save your car. But I hate them because rough tracks just cost us a lot of money.
Absolutely.
But well, my phone died, so I can't read the questions anymore. We're probably way past time.
Well, yeah, somebody commented that Mandy's not here, so you guys.
So we're just going forever.
So
Mandy's still in her meeting, and
so this might be the last one before Mike gets married. So we just thought we'd stretch it out. Just the guys getting together shooting it.
I'm glad you guys could get to know Lance and Art a little bit here. They've certainly done a ton to help me out and our whole program, and I really appreciate that. And I thank you guys for being on the show. Thank you guys for all your questions, and make sure that you subscribe to Mandy's channel, Dirt Track Untold, and her newsletter via email, and check out our first races will be on Flow, so you can you can watch those on there, or else drive to Florida and get out of the snow. Thank you guys for
Bye,
watching.
y'all.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later. I'll end it here if I can find it.
Oh, we gotta keep talking?
Nope.